Anthony Hartwig here with a McDonald girls basketball player profile. We are joined by senior Gracie Callow. Gracie, thank you so much for coming on and being with us here.
Thank you for having me.
Here you are getting ready for your senior year. What's it feel like kind of going into the year knowing it's your last ride, last chance to wear that McDonald uniform?
I mean, yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad it's basketball season, but knowing it is my last season playing for McDonald, I mean, there are a lot of emotions, but I am really excited to kick off the senior season.
Are you trying to stave off those emotions as long as possible? Or are you also trying to go into a senior year knowing not to take anything for granted? Or are you trying to just take it like every other season and try not to, realize the reality that it's your last year?
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to go into it taking nothing for granted because I don't know when my last game will be. So yeah.
Let's talk about some of the things that you have as goals in your senior year, some of the things that you want to do before your career is over at McDonald. What are some of those goals on your checklist that you want to accomplish this year?
Definitely having a better record than last year. Our team this year is looking a lot stronger than last year, thankfully. And also hopefully making it a little farther in the playoffs than we did last year.
This is a year where you have a new coaching staff, and the senior class is always so important in a coach's first year. If the seniors buy into what the coach is saying, then the rest of the players will too. What's it been like building a relationship with Coach Kilborn and trying to just buy into what he's trying to bring to the program and the philosophy that he's laying down?
Yes, definitely. Coach Kilborn is a great coach. He brings his energy every day. His plays that he's working with us for are going to help us a lot this year, and I'm excited to get the season going with him.
Let's talk about kind of your first reactions to Coach Kilborn, maybe your first initial impressions of him when you first met him, and what were some of the things that you kind of caught right off the guard about what he's going to be like and what kind of coach he's going to be?
When I first met him, I knew he was going to be a great guy, great coach. He has a lot of energy, which I love. And he's there to help us, and he's there to win, which I love.
Let's talk about your basketball journey. Here you are at the end of your McDonald career. One more season, but we get a little bit reflective on the end of the season too.
Yeah.
What's your basketball journey been like, and when did it start?
I started playing when I was in 4th grade. My dad was the coach, Brian Callow. I played basketball for quite some time now. Yeah.
What made you fall in love with it? What made you kind of be someone that said basketball is not something that I just do for fun, but it's something that I want to really work at, put the time into?
So my older sister Bree used to play. And my dad was like, okay, maybe you could try it out. So I tried it out, and ever since I've just fell in love with the game.
I like that you brought up your sister Bree because it's a big shadow to kind of look at too. I mean, she's won a lot of awards at her time at McDonald, including the YSN MVP in softball. And
Yeah.
what's it been like, kind of trying to put your own legacy together through 4 years and trying to put your own name into the McDonald athletics, history books?
It's not easy. It's never going to be easy trying to make your own name for yourself. But I feel like with all the supporters behind me, especially my family, it's going to be good.
Watching Bree go through her career, what kind of lessons do you think that gave you, and being able to look at her as a role model and look at her as someone that you can kind of model your career after?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, her work ethic, her determination, her dedication through everything is really what inspires me to be the best player I can be on the court. And yeah.
Now here you are, almost halfway through your senior year in the classroom as well. What's senior year been like for you in the classroom? Are you kind of filled up with all your hard classes already done, or do you still have some business to take care of before you graduate?
Oh, I'm not nearly as close as being done. I still have those hard classes in there.
What are some of those classes that you're taking right now?
I'm in CCP statistics and CCP writing 1 and 2.
Yeah, those sound hard. Those sound difficult. What have been some of your favorite subjects to take throughout your career at McDonald?
Definitely physiology. I've always been a science nerd, I would say. So yeah, definitely physiology.
And then I don't want to say least favorite because I don't want to dig the teachers out there that might be very passionate about their class. But what are some classes that you think were really hard, really made you kind of work the hardest to get good grades in, really didn't come natural to you, I would say?
Definitely history classes or government classes. I've always been a little on the rougher edge of those classes. I've always had to study a little longer for those classes. So those classes for sure.
And while we're on this topic, I'm sure there have been plenty of teachers along the way as well that have really impacted your schoolwork and helped you get to where you want to go. So, who are some teachers that come to mind in the McDonald school system that you think have really impacted your journey?
Yeah, McDonald has a great staff, a lot of great teachers out there, but one that really sticks out to me is Mrs. Averill. She used to be my ninth grade science teacher, and she always taught me that you have to work hard to earn stuff. So definitely her.
When you graduate and you walk down that aisle and you get reflective on everything you've been able to do at McDonald, whether it be your athletics career, your school career, what are going to be some things that you're less really proud of yourself for being able to accomplish?
You know what? When I walk down that aisle and I just reflect on just how like a good person I was in McDonald, all the friendships I've made, all the teammates I've made, um, and all the memories I made.
As we all know, it's not just a time for reflection, it's also a time to look into the horizon and what's in your future. So let's talk about some of your plans after high school and some of the things that you see for yourself once you do graduate as future goals.
Yeah, so my plan is to attend YSU and major in biology for 4 years, and then hopes to attend Mount Union's physician's assistant program.
You got it all planned out. You got the next 8 like here we go. What made you want to major in biology and then continue that throughout Mount Union?
Yeah, like I said, I've always been a science nerd. I always loved learning about science and especially taking it into physician assistant because I've always wanted to help other people. And taking it to Mount Union, it's just closer to home, and I love being near my family.
Is there any branch of medicine that you think you'd want to go into as a physician's assistant?
Um, Definitely oncology, just so I can help little kids with cancer.
Is there something that kind of drove you towards the medical field? Because there's a lot of careers that biology can take you. It's such a variable major. You can do so many things with biology. Is there something that you think really drove you towards wanting to be in the medical field?
Ever since I was little, this might sound weird, but ever since I was little, I've always loved going to dentists, doctor's appointments, and I've always loved that type of atmosphere.
They probably loved you because spending all day having kids screaming at their dog, and you're like, I love being here. This is awesome. Give you extra lollipops, right? When you think about some of the things that you treasure about your teammates in this basketball season and the things that you think just make your teammates irreplaceable, well, what are your favorite things about this personality in this locker room that you've been with for the last 4 years?
Everybody gets along. We all love each other, and I feel like we just have that special bond between one another.
And you're also going to be someone that's asked to have a lot of leadership responsibilities this year as a senior. How have you kind of tackled the idea of being a leader and trying to build this program up to this into the point where it can succeed after you graduate?
Yes, definitely. Being a leader is by means not easy at all, but I feel like me being there for the team, helping them whenever they need to, is really gonna help.
When we bring on the leaders of the future on this show later on in the ether, like next year, in the next 2 years, and we ask them what they learned from leadership from players like you, what do you hope kind of the answer is? What are you trying to leave as a legacy, as a lesson for the leaders of the future?
To never give up when it's hard, and if there are challenges, to try to overcome them.
All right, Gracie, one of the things that we do to end these player profiles every time, we give the player the chance to take the limelight off themselves for a minute and shine on the people in their life that have been there for them, that have really helped them get to where they are. So I want to give you the time to give as many shout outs and thank yous as you want to the people in your life.
Yeah, definitely. My family. My family has been there day one, and they've always been on this roller coaster with me. So definitely my family.
All right, Gracie, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate the time. We wish you the best of luck this senior season, and we can't wait to talk again real soon.
Thank you so much.